podcast where we say, just like Square Enix's, Jason, what if no Kingdom Hearts? I'm Mike, and with me as always is my brother, Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hi.
Hi.
I was
No
afraid I
Kingdom
was gonna get
Hearts.
Stuck making that face.
I thought you were for a minute stuck. We got to dive right into this, Jason, because we have not one, not two, but 3 different video game shows to cover. We watched all 3 of these, not necessarily live, but on stream within the day they happened. There'll be a video releasing of all 3 shows together, smushed together for you guys to watch our reactions for. And you can find that on our other channel. But I wanted to kind of run over these shows a little bit, what stuck out to us, whether good or bad. Starting with, on June 4th, Sony had the States of Play. And spoilers, I think this was the best show of the 3. Do you agree with that, Jason?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I give this show like a solid 8 out of 10, maybe 9.
Yeah, it was a very quality show, in my opinion.
Especially like watching the other ones and then thinking about it in hindsight. I'm like, damn, this show was good.
Yeah.
No.
And what we did is I have the list here thanks to our friend KH Waterblock. Shout out to Waterblock. And you and I went and highlighted some that we want to talk about and did not highlight the ones we don't want to talk about, so we will not be talking about them. But you highlighted the first game here, Jace. Pragmata. Is that the one with the little doll robot?
Yeah. So it's the one that feels very like Dead Spacey kind of, but then like there's this little girl, but it's a robot that's like an AI, and it felt like almost kind of Death Stranding in a way too, where it's like clearly this guy is going to be, forming an attachment to this little girl and like want to protect her as like a father figure kind of thing. And she has like crazy moves that she uses like on your back and stuff. And it just genuinely like that genre, like for the people that know me, I fucking hate like horror games that are like, they don't give you enough ammo because it adds like tension, but in reality it's just like, okay bro, like just put the ammo in the bag, bro. Like what is this extra layer of like friction where it's like you gotta make sure you melee enough enemies so that you don't run out of ammo, and then now I'm just only meleeing enemies because it's like, well, I don't want to get fucked over on a boss, and then just like, oh well, I used too much ammo going up to this boss and now I'm just fucked, like that type of stuff is so cringe to me. But yet, even with that lens, this intrigued me. Where I was like, okay, this actually looks good. And like it, at least like it didn't feel so cookie cutter to me.
I was going to say, I didn't get the vibe, Jay, that it was like Resident Evil. I thought it was more like, not to invoke the name Stellar Blade, but Stellar Blade. It looked more like that to me as opposed to like I get the Dead Space vibe because it looked like they were on a spaceship or whatever, but it looked more like Stellar Blade to me, but instead of you doing the cool moves as a hot lady, you have a little robot girl doing them for you.
Yeah, I didn't really get the Stellar Blade vibes. Maybe if I watch it again, I'd get that, but it felt way more like Death Stranding, Dead Spacey to me.
Which are 2 very different games, for the record.
Right. But I guess in the context of, like, you have this, like the wanting to protect the baby of, like, protecting the child from Death Stranding, and then, like, the gameplay or, like, helplessness and, like, aesthetic, at least, of Dead Space.
Yeah. Okay. The next game we have highlighted on the list, I highlighted, Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement. And they didn't reveal the name till the end of this one, and so a lot of people were like, Castlevania? And I kind of knew it was Bloodstained because, 1, the art style is pretty similar, and 2, Castlevania is, a very pompous series, and they are going to reveal that they're Castlevania right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Despite me being a big Castlevania head, I never played Bloodstained as in the the not 3D, but the Symphony of the Night, like the Metroidvania Bloodstained. I really like the two Bloodstains that are kind of like NES, SNES graphics that are like more like Castlevania 3. I played the shit out of those, but I
remember
never.
We played the like, not the 3D one, but the other one you were talking about. I remember we played that on our YouTube channel for like an hour or something. Like,
I don't think we ever even released a video on it. If we did,
yeah, we because I remember you got these like high heel like weapons that made her like do these kicks and shit instead of using like a weapon.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, like
I know I played it for like a couple hours, but I never really got into it, and I want to go back and do it. And this looks really cool to me, because that's my kind of thing. 2026. We didn't mention Pragmata 2026 as well.
Yep.
The one thing that these companies did not do that they typically do for this shit is go, by the way, all these games are coming out in 2025. Like, they didn't do that shit. Like, I feel like they've been doing that a lot recently. Like, they're coming out this year, but they were like, no, we're not going to make any of those claims. A lot of this shit's not coming out this year. Some of it might not come out next year.
Right.
So, Bloodstained was 2026. I just wanted to touch on the Digimon Story Time Stranger, which I haven't played.
Time Stranger is a crazy title. I like it.
It is. I haven't played a Digimon game since the PS1, the one where Agumon could shit himself and then it would die because you let it shit itself too many times. This looks like they took some cues from Persona and made a Digimon game. And
I haven't played since Dungeon 3, probably.
Okay. That does intrigue me.
I think it was Dungeon 3.
Like a Persona-like that's Digimon does intrigue me, especially if it's not exactly
it
a Persona-like.
too.
Yeah, it did.
Like it didn't feel like just like a like they're following this trend and then like capitalizing it with their IP, but like not putting like a soul into it. It did pass the vibe check of like it seems like it has its own soul kind of vibe. It
really reminded me of the cartoon, which I watched a lot of as a adolescent, and after school all the time I'd watch Digimon. So hopefully it's good. That it got me a little excited watching that. Not much else to say on it other than I hope that I have to like make Agumon go to the fucking outhouse to use the restroom, or he's gonna leave little Japanese like pudding doo-doos.
Turd emojis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember the Digimon I played. I think it was like a dungeon, and like you had to like you were a Digimon, but like you used a weapon to fight, right? Like a sword or a spear, and like you would, based on what you used, you would like. You were basically like skilling, like it was fucking like RuneScape or like some like old school shit where it's like the more you use your sword or like some like WoW shit where it's like the more you use the sword, your like hit chance goes up and like your damage goes up, and then once you get to like sword level 40, then you can use like the next level of sword or whatever, and like you'd have to like buy your equipment from like the shopkeeper in like the hub world and stuff. And I just remember doing that with one of my homies back in the day. Super fun.
Hell yeah. Up next is the big one for you and me. The
most
long rumored from the NVIDIA leak, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, coming out September 30th of this year. It is a remaster where you can play the original version of the game and this new version, which has updated graphics, full voice acting, some changes to gameplay and story, they even said. So that's pretty fucking exciting. I assume it's
mainly like quality of life shit, probably.
Yeah. It looks fucking awesome. And this is, not just like a good Final Fantasy spin-off. This is a top 5 Final Fantasy game for me, and I know you feel the same way. And I'm very excited to play it. A lot of times, especially like when we're talking about streaming a game, one thing that holds me back is I love this old game, but there's so much fucking reading, and then like people expect you to do like voices and shit. And like that can be fun, but like Tactics is wordy as balls, right?
Yeah,
like there's a lot and so to be like, nope, it's voice acted, here you go, I'm very excited for that.
Oh
man.
my god, it's so much nicer. And like in a similar, like a very similar game is like the triangle strategy game, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like a lot of it's voice acted, but not all of it. But like a large part of the not all of it that is not voice acted matters. You know, like it's like it doesn't matter at all. So that's definitely like, oh, I wanted to play this on stream, but I'll probably just play this solo.
Right. Yeah. But man, I'm excited to jump back into that one. That's a big one. You and I used to play this game quite a bit.
Yeah.
When we were younger, it's one of the games I had for my PlayStation back in the day, and I remember sitting there with you multiple times and playing through that one. So that would be nice for us to play.
Yeah, just the aesthetics are so good. It has like the perfect like JRPG, like where you can like grind as much as you want kind of thing, and it really does like help you in matter. There's like the permadeath aspect of the game. There's just so much to it that it just your playthrough really does feel like your fucking playthrough. Like it immediately diverges the second you make any decision from like pretty much anybody else's thing. Like you can take like the healer that you have level 1 and be like, I actually want to make you like a summoner, and you're just gonna call down Ifrite and shit, and like
right.
that shit's super fucking cool. Like
also,
that
the
was
music's
my first...
really good.
Oh yeah, the music is so good. I will hear people in like video essays use music from the game all the time, and I'm like, bass.
I hope that in the updated version, because I want to play that for the voice acting and all that, I hope the death noises are the same, because the death noises are like Yoda death noise worthy.
They're like blood curdling screams.
Yeah. Like they're so good. It's such a good game. Game. Ben Starr's one of the voice actors.
Ooh, okay.
So shout out to the boy Ben Starr, who's been killing it recently, and he's so damn handsome. Just total package, that guy. But this answers the question of what the fuck is Square Enix gonna do this year, right? Other than Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remaster, right? And the answer is remaster 2 of our old games, and that's it. And possibly one other thing that we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, man, this was probably the best. The game I'm looking most forward to. The game I'm looking most forward to out of all 3 conferences. Yep. And it's coming quick.
I don't know, like, another game that I would have popped off as hard. Like, maybe Kingdom Hearts 4, right? Like,
yeah.
Even if they were, like, 10-3, like, I don't like where it went with some of that, like, book, like, the audio log shit.
No,
so, like,
dude, that shit's
I'd be hype, but not as hype as Tactics Remastered.
That shit's hype, dude. Give me Tidus kicking a bomb blitzball and get me
blowing up and dying.
Orin's daughter and Sin coming back. Give me all that shit.
Bro. Hell no.
Give me all that shit.
Hell no. But dude, what would be like literally best timeline is like the remaster does really fucking good, and then they're like, you know what? Fuck it. We make another motherfucking Tactics game, baby.
Yeah. They should.
But like in that universe, you know?
I saw some like fucking disillusioned idiot on the internet being like, I hope they don't make Tactics political. Brother, have you played the game?
It's a political game.
It's a political story. Like, it's a story about classism and like...
Yeah. And like, are you born into like a certain like caste and like type shit? Like,
right. It's literally the most political Final Fantasy.
It's the shoulder on the fucking the hand on the shoulder fucking image, bro. Like, who's gonna tell him, bro?
Right. For sure. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that. September 30th. We'll probably stream that shit, honestly.
Oh yeah, you already know.
That might be our like marathon stream game.
Well, yeah, like we stream that shit, and then I'm also playing it at home. Mike's also playing it off stream on his phone, like. Because it literally is like, okay, we decide
the shit on my desk.
What we're gonna do, and like maybe we have stream like decide certain things for characters or whatever.
Yeah, we can do some cool shit with that.
Like,
you're right.
And then like, because of that, you can just instantly make different decisions in your other playthrough with like what you do with your characters. Oh, I want this to be a knight, a dragoon, a wizard, or whatever, like so cool.
What's the Zodiac one? There's like not Zodiac, I'm sorry. The mathematician one where they use math to cast spells.
Oh, what is that one?
Oracle? Is it called Oracle?
That might be it.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about that one.
Yeah. All right, so moving on. We could talk about tactics the rest of the episode if we wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
This next one was, for lack of a better term, cringe. Baby steps. Which is what I would call, in jest, I would call it a Death Stranding-like. Because it's like... Or maybe an I Am Bread-like or Octodad-like, you know what I mean? Where it's like the point is it's hard to control, right? But it was like this dude, and you have to like walk around areas to get to outhouses to take a shit, apparently. But what really made me cringe was the guy introducing it going, "This game made me laugh so hard, I almost barfed." And it was like, come on, dude. Like, don't try to,
I feel so bad for the developers that, like, because, like, I don't think that guy, I think that guy just worked
He just worked for Sony, yeah. He wasn't,
for Sony.
He didn't work on the game.
It's like, imagine you're the dev and you're, like, sitting there watching the direct and you're, like, waiting for your game. And then you're like, oh, like, in the run of show, you're like, oh, our game's up next year. Elbowing the fucking guy next to you. Look. And then that fucking happens and you're like,
oh, my God.
They're going to think our game's fucking shit. No. I'd lose my mind, dude. I would lose my mind.
Pokemon Go to the polls ass shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some just absolutely...
Some boomer.
Right.
Just being like, this game is so funny, it almost made me barf. Like, oh my God.
Fucking crazy.
Share it on Facebook, why don't you, bro? Holy shit, it's over.
So the next thing that I marked Jason off the PlayStation conference was this really cool Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. And it's made by the company escapes me, but they do all of these collections like this, and they do a fantastic job of them. And I'm a big Mortal Kombat head, dude. I love Mortal Kombat, so I'm very excited about that. And then they kind of comboed it with their fight stick reveal that PlayStation's making a fight stick for PS5, which is cool. Not that I'll get that.
I'm sure it's going to be $5 bajillion.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And then also, just quickly, the Astrobot. The fact that they're still adding new bots and new DLC, like speedrun levels to this game is really cool, man.
Yeah.
Game of the year, It
just solidifies them deserving that, for sure.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff in all these conferences, Jay, where you and I looked at each other and went, "Is this Sea of Thieves?" Right? And they had a couple games like that in this. Yeah. But the next game that I wanted to talk about was 007 First Light, which is the new James Bond game made by the Hitman team.
A woke video game.
A woke video game. I cannot believe that they put what appears to be a straight white male with like blue eyes,
who's like known for like womenizing.
Yeah, and they're like, "This is a woke game." The fucking snake is eating itself, dude. This is insane.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, it's like that shit has to be like an AI Twitter account, right?
Right.
Like, no shot that shit's real.
Right.
Like, I have for my own sanity to believe that that's not a real human.
Yeah. But about the game, they're doing like a younger, like an origin story James Bond, and it's not canon to the movies for once.
Right.
Like they're always real big on that being canon to the movies, and this one's not, so they can probably do some cool stuff with it.
Yeah, I don't know why they would ever make that shit canon. To be honest, that's weird.
I think back in the day that was like supposed to be like it's part of the mythology and the canon and it's cool because of that. And now it's like, just make cool fucking stories in that world. Like, It doesn't have to be that. So I'm glad they're doing that. I have the utmost confidence.
I was saying on stream, it's like just the idea of like what a peak, like James Bond in his like prime kind of thing that as a video game, right? Where it's like you're doing some like Ocean's ass like heist type shit while also like, you know, killing bad guys. But like it doesn't have to be. It's not like, oh, like it's like you're stealing money. It's like Ocean's as in like this is like this planned out like methodical.
You're doing like
thing
reconnaissance and
yeah, and like, you know, you have all these different gadgets and shit, and because it's a video game, they can get real fucking crazy with it, and I just feel like that would just work so well.
Yeah, I agree. So that's exciting. 2026 for that one. And then they ended the show with a pretty decent look of Marvel Dokkan Fighting Souls coming out in 2026, made by ARC Systems, you know, known for Guilty Gear and all those kind of fighting games. And this is so cool to me because the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise has kind of been a dud for a while now. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite sucked.
It took so long to come out. After
right,
3.
and it just wasn't good. And now here they have, you know, this 4v4 tag fighter where the Marvel characters you know and love are like seen through like almost an anime lens, right?
Yeah.
Like Captain America speaking fucking Japanese. You know what I mean? Like, and it looked, they only showed 8 characters, which they're going to have way more than 8 to do a 4v4 right? But
yeah, for sure.
All 8 characters looked awesome and all had like cool twists on them. Like Iron Man's basically a Gundam, right?
Yeah, some like Sentai ass shit.
Why can't I think of her name? Kamala Khan, what's her name? Is it
Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel. God, what the hell? She looks like it's the coolest design for her I've like ever seen.
Yeah.
Like her being just
agree.
like this big-eyed anime girl is so fucking cool. Like it's such a good fit.
It makes
Star-Lord, Doctor Doom, Ghost Rider. Who else was there? Storm, Doctor Doom, Ghost Rider, Star-Lord, Captain America, Iron Man, Miss Marvel. Who am I missing? Who the fuck am I missing? Ghost Rider, Miss Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, Star-Lord, Doctor Doom.
Iron Man?
I said Iron Man. Iron Man, Captain America, Star-Lord, Miss Marvel, Storm, Ghost Rider, Doctor Doom. Holy shit. Who was the other one?
Was Magneto in it?
No, that would be too cool. Marvel took on Fighting Souls. Who is the other one? Spider-Man. Fucking Spider-Man.
Oh.
Jeez. Fucking Spider-Man.
He
Anyway.
better be broken a loser or else I'll be fucking mad.
True, honestly. No, in Japan, he's not broke or a loser. They like him there. There are a lot of Easter eggs in like the backgrounds. Like there's one where like literally you can see Matt Murdock in a window. Like not as Daredevil, just as like the lawyer. But I'm very excited for this game. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm not really like a Guilty Gear guy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fighting game guy in general because I fucking suck.
I like the idea of fighting games more than I like play them, but one like this, I mean, I used to be really good at Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That used to be my game.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't going to play exactly like Marvel vs. Capcom, but it looks close enough to me where I'm like, hey, I could play this and have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's certainly the best looking tag fighter we saw over all 3 shows, which you would think, why did he say that specifically? Because there's another tag fighter that I don't know, it looks so good. But that's how they ended the Sony showcase, and they went in this deep dive about how it came together, which I thought was kind of fun. I'm excited to see more characters, and if they're smart, they'll make them, like, they'll release like 2 of them at a time and make it a big deal, like Smash Bros. And all that stuff. So I hope they do it that way, because I'll be excited for that. But that was it for the Sony showcase, Jason. Any other thoughts on the Sony one before we move on to Summer's Games Fests?
I'd say I liked that, like, none of the trailers felt overly long or overstayed their welcome. Like, it didn't feel like that show dragged at all, you know?
No.
Like, and just, it felt like they really, like, cherry-picked the games that they felt like deserved to be in it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't, even if it was a game that, like, I wasn't really into, like, I understood why, right? It's like, oh, this fan base is big, like, good for them kind of thing. Not my thing.
The only one I was like, but, well, besides Baby Steps, which I thought was just cringe, but the only one that I was like, they didn't have to include this, but I get it because PSVR 2 is still a thing, is the Thief VR game. Yeah. You know, but that's just because I think VR is so dead, and the fact that they released another VR system is crazy.
This is just a waste. This is just a red on the ledger of your business.
Right, like, for sure. For sure.
It's chalked.
So then 2 days later, we had Summer Games Fest. But before we get into that, I have to make an apology. Hold on. I have to make sure I'm saying this right. Hold on. This is getting edited out. This part's getting edited out. Mike, edit this out. Okay. I have to make an apology. Last episode, when Tyler Rims was on, I referred to the voice actor of Gustav from Expedition 33 and the actor that plays Daredevil as Matthew Cox. And I even said, Matty Cox, that sounds wrong. And everybody said, yeah, you're right, it does. That's because his name's Charlie Cox.
He mixed Matthew Murdock and Charlie Cox.
So I want to apologize to Mr. Cox, Charles, if you will. I'm getting your name wrong. And in the future, you know, I'm just a human being that makes mistakes. But in this particular instance, I was wrong. And all I can do is apologize to Mr. Cox, Charles, if you will, and try to be a better person from here on out. And that's my promise to you at home, is I'm going to do better. Someone who did not do better, Jason, Jeff Keighley. Because you and we went to a concert this night and then watched Summer's Games Fest after. Had some libations were flowing with me, you, and Tara.
Thank God.
Thank God, because this show
rescued the vibe.
sucked. This show was
we would have been so
bad.
Triggered.
Like,
well, because, you know, we're tired after coming home from a concert or whatever. And, like, there's 2 ways you can go. You can either get in, like, a laughy, kind of giggly mood type vibe, right? Where you're just making jokes and shit. Or you can get cranky and pissed off. And I think if the libations weren't flowing, we would have been like, Jeff, what in the fuck is this? Just raging at, like, midnight or whatever it was.
At the beginning of the show, Jeff shouted out a person named Dante who tagged him on Twitter and said, hey, I canceled the date tonight to watch Summer's Games Fests. Don't let me down. And I think Dante probably jumped off a bridge.
Yeah. We need a wellness check on Dante.
We need to check on Dante. We've highlighted a few games from this, but most of the things I highlighted is to make fun of them. So,
yeah. No, for real.
Literally, they show Mortal Shell 2, which sure, and then a Fortnite thing, right? Which it's like cool. And all it took was those two things, and then Jeff immediately had to suck off Hideo Kojima and Death Stranding 2.
It wasn't even like a good ball washing neither, because like we didn't really like see anything. Like there wasn't like, because I was talking with Fabio, the resident Death Stranding enjoyer in the community, and he was like, "Bro, I wish they didn't even have this segment, because it's just like at this point." Like they've already built this like mystique about the game, right? And like that's what I think Hideo's done so good with this, franchise, right? Like you watch the trailers and you're like, shit, like what the fuck is that? Like that looks fucking crazy. Like, oh, okay. Like there's like that sci-fi ass shit, and it's just like intriguing, and like how the trailer is done well, and it kind of draws you in. But it's like after that, it's like you can only do that so many more times where like you can kind of start to connect the dots. And in connecting the dots, it loses that mystique, right? And so like the more cinematic shit you show for this game, it loses me. Like I'm less interested in it unless you show me some actual fucking gameplay. And that's what Fabio was saying to me. He's like, if there was gameplay shit in it, it would be fucking cool. But like we just are still not seeing any type of deep gameplay, anything from this game series, At
this point too, I mean, we're recording this on June 10th. It comes out in 16 days. And it's like, I feel like we've seen very little gameplay of it. And maybe the gameplay has not changed at all. And that's why, right? Maybe it's just like, hey, carry the baby around, carry the packages, build bridges and ladders and zip lines for everybody. Get in your car. Maybe that's exactly the same. Go to the safe house and drink the Monster Energy drink and take a shower. Like... Maybe that's just exactly the same.
On the wall from
right, but
from a real TV show.
Right, that's the only thing I can think of is that it's exactly the same, and that's why they're not showing a ton of it. Well, we'll see. I mean, I know that game publications have it. They're playing it already. I know IGN has it, and they're playing it. So we'll hear pretty soon what's going on with that. And I hope it's good. Like, it's not for me, but I hope it's good. I do
hope it's good.
I get that Jeff doesn't, Jeff
Kojima-san.
That's his guy, right?
Suck your cock.
And it's like when the other game companies have their own show, right? When Xbox and PlayStation have their own show, and then Nintendo's Nintendo, you're getting shut out of a lot of stuff, and so you got to pull in your big guns that you can. But I just don't feel like this is a big gun at this point for him because he always pulls this out.
Yeah.
He
like
always...
you expected at this point, and it's like lost its allure and grandeur.
Exactly.
Like, it's Kojima. Oh my god.
Kojima's here. And at at the Game Awards, he's going to fucking bring him out again.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't know, man. Not into it. You highlighted...
Like, it feels very like like at first, at least, it felt pretty organic. Like this last time felt very like we are checking a box kind of thing to me.
Yeah. Well, it seems like if you look at the show overall, he had 2 aces to play, right? And there's one he played at the beginning, which is Kojima, and there's one he played at the end, which we'll talk about. Just to me, the aces were the wrong suit. You know what I mean? Like they he played 2 aces, but sometimes you can't win with a pair of aces always. You know what I mean? You
right.
Can't,
he did not have enough jokers that he didn't have like the cut in half joker. He was not set up, dude.
No, he didn't. He didn't have
were
the
some, like,
ace joker,
full flush shit. Royal flush ass jokers.
He didn't have Uranus. He didn't have Uranus leveled up.
Nope.
Oh wait, is that 2 pair? Uranus is 2 pair. What's 1 pair? I don't remember. Anyway,
Mars
maybe, I don't know. But he didn't Balatro. Moving on, you highlighted Atomic Heart 2, and I'm assuming that means you also want to talk about the Cube Atomic Universe.
Oh, hell no. I don't want to talk about Cube Atomic Universe. I do want to talk about how I think it's cool that, like, to me, what I hope for this game is that, you know, the first one was like kind of like a proof of concept as like far as like the world and like some basic gameplay loops, and that this one really irons it out. It does look a lot more interesting to me, and it looks like a much bigger world. It kind of gave me some like what's the fucking Cloud City in Star Wars? Like, it gave me that kind of vibe in some of the areas.
Isn't it just Cloud City?
Oh, is it? I don't remember.
I think I might be wrong.
What's the planet though?
Hold up. Yeah, I think it's Cloud City is the name of the city. Yeah, it's just called Cloud City on the planet Bespin.
Okay. Give me some Bespin vibes, you know, like.
But that's the whole planet, Jay. You just want the Cloud City.
Well, like, I think the idea is that you can only have Cloud Cities on Bespin. Maybe not. I don't know. We haven't seen the ground.
Yeah, I guess
it doesn't have ground. I think that's the vibe.
Where's my Star Wars game where they explain the rest of Bespin?
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's like a cloud giant. I don't know, a gas giant. Anyway, I am somewhat interested in this game as far as like, it looks not as like grungy as the first one did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like it's not taking itself as serious, which I think has helped it be more interesting, in my opinion. Not that like taking yourself seriously as a game is like inherently bad. I just don't think it really worked for them. So I'm interested, and if I hear it's good, I might cop.
Okay, but you're not interested in basically their version of GTA Online.
No,
because that's the way I took that. Is Atomic Heart 2 is the new game, and then they're going to have a multiplayer component that it seems like it's the GTA Online to GTA 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hella tuned out in the Cube part, you know, like I got more of the idea that it was like some type of fucking battle royale or some shit. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to that one.
Yeah.
I was checked out.
Okay.
Like, I was memeing in the chat.
We were memeing. At this point, I think we kind of understood what was happening here, and we were memeing all through it.
Yeah.
One game that did intrigue me is Felt That Boxing, which is basically a puppet boxing game. Puppet Punch-Out is what I would describe it as. That's what it looked like, at least. It looked like the gameplay of like a Super Punch-Out, but they were puppets, and there's like a story component, and then there were like training mini games, and it seemed pretty funny.
Well, when the Muppet swore, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, I always like made jokes about that. What the fuck? I just watched that dude swear.
Right. I was interested by that. Not enough to
looked
like
really good.
Yeah, not enough to pog about it, but it looked cool. Yeah. And then right after we got the Square Enix jump scare, and it's a game called Killer Inn, which they said it's like a murder mystery game. So it's basically Mafia, but you also like shoot each other. It was very. I don't know if I quite understood the gameplay loop, because they acted like there was like mysteries to solve, but then there were people just having like fucking third person like arena deathmatch. It seemed like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was edited really shittily, but also like I know like in Mafia, there's always like, if you get a certain amount of players, it's like there's like a third party who's trying to kill a specific person, like figure out who, like, oh, you need to kill the detective or whatever, and then you win and you're not the mafia or whatever. But also like in some of these games, like I don't know what the name of it. It's like a space one, but like basically the bad guys aren't the only ones who have weapons in some of these, where it's like, oh, you can just like, oh, I think you're the fucking person. Instead of like talking about it and voting, you can just fucking kill them and like try and do it like that. And I think that's the vibe. I don't know. It's like the mystery part of it is just like, oh, like, so you're just playing like some puzzles, like it's blueprints, but also people are trying to kill you during it, I guess. Like,
yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are we doing capitalizing on a Among Us like game in 2025, bro? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
As like a big publisher, like, what are we doing?
So I'm of a couple minds on this because I think Square Enix, you know, I think one of the things they should be doing is finding like indie developers that are making a cool game and publishing them. I think that's smart business practice. I think they're picking the wrong games. I mean, well, not always, because I think Power Wash, them publishing Power Wash is a smart move, right? That game,
Yeah.
Power Wash 2 is going to print money just like the first one did. But what I don't condone or understand is Square Enix people, meaning like fans, who either are a Final Fantasy fan or a Kingdom Hearts fan, or, you know, whatever, Dragon Quest, whatever flavor of Square Enix that you enjoy. Going on the internet and being like, oh, I wish they're releasing this instead of the game I want, or the most egregious claim, I can't believe they canceled Kingdom Hearts Missing Link for this. Tell me you are one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the internet without telling me. You think this has anything to do with Missing Link? They didn't develop this game. They're taking no manpower from developing this game, from developing other games to make this game. They are simply the publisher. They are giving money and or marketing to this game, and then taking some of the profit from the game,
like legal shit. Yeah.
Right. That is all they are doing. This has nothing to do with Missing Link or Final Fantasy or Secret of Mana or whatever fucking shit that you like. It just has nothing to do with it. Do I want Square Enix to show us more games? Yes, but getting mad at this game and like Square Enix was trying to share it on social media, and people are like, wow, I'm really disappointed you didn't show FF9 Remake. It's like, you guys are cutting off Square Enix's legs to be able to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? This is how they're trying to subsidize their company to make money so they can continue to make the games that we like. And you guys are shitting on these games, which, hey, it doesn't have to be your kind of game, but like, going, I wish this was Kingdom Hearts. You're not helping. You're not doing anything positive. You're just being stupid. Like, cut it out, man. Like, it's just so... I've been very, you know, obviously we would have wanted to see Kingdom Hearts or something like that in these presentations, and we didn't. But I've been so disappointed in that community. Like, just the way they're acting about these situations. And it's like...
Yeah.
Guys, the game will come out. Relax.
Yeah.
Fucking relax.
Well, and like, just like, you know, there are different like bubbles, and some of them are connected. Like, you know, a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans are Final Fantasy fans, and vice versa. But like, for these, like, there's not that inherent crossover for things like these.
Right.
And anyone like bringing your baggage as like an FF9 enjoyer like to this random game that's being published by them, like if it was Power Wash Sim, and you're just like making this part of this community kind of fucking weird. Like,
right,
dude, like,
I don't get it.
Go see a therapist, bro. Like, why are you shitting on this other random game? Like, if it's a shit game, like if it's like, you know, if they were publishing Foam Stars, like, okay, sure.
But like, no,
fine.
because Jay, it doesn't. Publishing has nothing to do with anything they're mad about. Like, it takes.
I mean, like, if you're saying like, I'm glad, I'm like, oh wow, like that's crazy that they're like canceling Missing Link for this. Like, it is a stupid ass comment for sure. Like, you don't know how this shit works. But at least I can understand, like, at least being a little bit like it. Making the a correlation to another game, that's stupid. But like being like, this looks like shit is
the only saying it looks like shit is whatever. The only way what you're saying or what these people are saying makes sense is if, like, okay, say let's just use Expedition 33 as an example because it's an indie game, very successful indie game. probably a decently high budget indie game, but an indie game, right?
Yeah.
If it got out that Square Enix was able to publish that game instead of Kepler Interactive, like they said, hey, you're the RPG guys, we want you to publish our game. And Square Enix said, no, we're going to publish Killer Inn instead. Then yes, you have every right to be like upset. Like that would make sense, right? But that's not what happened. They're just they're finding games that I don't know how the process goes, but their leadership goes, hey, we think this is going to either be interesting or make money or whatever their goal is, which I'm assuming it's making money. And they think, hey, we're going to put some money behind this and see if this will make us some money. That's all it is. Like it has nothing to do with your precious Kingdom Hearts. It just doesn't.
And I get, like, losing faith in Square Enix and stuff because, there's been some letdowns on, like, big games or taking forever on certain games or whatever, right? Like, I think it definitely is fucked up to be like, I want more games from you, and then, like, actively ruin their attempts at other ones where it's like to just like shit on them again for something that's not connected to that thing, right? Like it is kind of weird.
I'm gonna point at the camera when I say this. Not everything is made for you. Did you hear me? You know who I'm talking to out there. Not everything is made for you. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. Even though it says Square Enix and you hear the Square Enix ding and you go, oh, and then it's not something you like, that's okay. Square Enix and any video game company.
Dog by the ding, bruh.
They do not have to cater specifically to you. And that's okay. There are plenty of other games out there. They weren't at Summer's Games Fest. None of the good games were at Summer's Games Fest, but there are other games out there for you to play. And we're also acting like Square Enix didn't announce anything this whole period.
Yeah, true.
When they announced Tactics.
Like if you were just a hater of Square Enix, period, I can at least respect it a little bit more to just cook them no matter what, right? Like if you were just a D1 hater, all right, do it. But these people are like, I am a fan of Square Enix. Let me, like, cut off my nose to spite my face, right? Like, let me just, like, fuck up the vibe of some other game that's not even developed by them because I'm mad that, some Missing Link got canceled or FF9 remake hasn't been announced. It's like...
And also...
what?
I don't like bringing up Kingdom Hearts a ton on this podcast because it's supposed to be the opposite of that. But acting like Missing Link was going to be a good business decision is absolutely insane. If you want to say, hey, I really wanted to see what this game was about. I really wanted to see the story. I wanted to try the Pokemon Go-esque gameplay. All those are valid things to say. But to say, man, I really think they had a hit on their hands with Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, you've lost your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
You just have. And to say that it's a better business decision than Killer Inn, I highly doubt it. I don't think it doesn't look like Killer Inn was going to be like that a big success either, But like to act like Missing Link was going to be better and like imply that is insane. It's just insane.
Like the idea, right? It's like, okay, you don't have to make this game at all. They already made it. You are just, maybe some funds, maybe some legal shit, maybe some marketing. You are just weighing, like, okay, my cut as a publisher outweigh, or like the amount I have to, like, your overhead is just like fucking 5% of what it would be, right? So it's way easier to make a profit, or at least the chance of you losing money, and then also the amount of money that you would lose negligible, right?
Right. Well, and it's not like they with this, they push Killer Inn out into the world and theoretically, they do some marketing and then like it's out, right? Missing Link, a game they developed that has an online component, that they have to
host.
They have to host and maintain is a completely different thing.
While partnered with Niantic as well.
Right.
It's not like it's like their own shit. Like
right. Anyway, we can move on. Next game you highlighted is probably another one you don't have nice things to say about, but Jurassic World Evolution 3 coming out October 21st.
Okay, I don't know who this is made by. I need to look because like what type of fucking money laundering horseshit are these games, by the way? Okay, so the first one comes out and people realize that like it's basically like a story mode. Like it doesn't matter what you do, these things will happen. It's not about the fucking park aspect at
You're not really
all.
designing a park that you want to make. You're just designing the park that they're telling you to make through the
You are
story
clicking
mode,
a button that says in 5 minutes they will come back with a dinosaur fossil. Then in 5 minutes they come back with it. Then you click on the fossil, and in 5 minutes that fossil hatches or whatever, and then comes out. And then guess what? In 5 minutes it will then break out of the pen no matter what you fucking do. And that's just every dinosaur that entire game, right? So then they drop the second one, right? The second one is like even fucking weirder, bro. You are not like it's like the post all of the dinosaurs getting out into the world. Like it's like the Jurassic World 3 where the dinosaurs are everywhere. So you're out in the fucking desert of Arizona going out on some first person in a fucking helicopter shooting tranks at a fucking at a dinosaur.
Yeah, I never played the second one.
Like I bought the second one because I want a fucking tycoon game with fucking dinosaurs. Like it just makes fucking sense, right? Like, and it has the same fucking problems of like, okay, so there's the pen and like, you know, for a triceratops, you know, you got to make sure you have low
low T
short brushes and shit. You need to make sure you have enough water, but not too much water. It doesn't fucking like trees. Like that type of shit like stresses it out. It needs to have other triceratops with it. Like it doesn't like to be alone. If you do all of these fucking things perfectly, that motherfucker will still break out in 5 fucking minutes, dude. Like,
that's crazy.
I don't know how, and it's the exact same fucking game, dude. They literally did some fucking NBA 2K to or like fucking Madden 23 to Madden 24 ass shit.
Just change the rosters.
It's the same fucking game, right? And then they charge like a full fucking price for this shit again. What the fuck is this? So we're doing a third fucking one? Like, are they just making money on rug pulling enough people? You know, where it's like on enough people buying the game and then having it just sit in their fucking Steam account after playing it for an hour? You know what I mean? Like, is that what they're making money on? Because, like, these fucking games are terrible, bro.
Yeah, dude. People must be buying them.
Like, it's just purely named, like, we are just selling fucking the validity of our name brand. You know what I mean? Like, at least, like, the movies are, like, an entertaining movie, right? Like, there might be, like, less soul in the movies, but at least, like, you know, some motherfuckers are dying to fucking dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Like, it's like some popcorn movie. It's not that deep. But, like, these games, like... It has to be a good fucking game.
I didn't like in the first Jurassic World when they killed the hot nanny like she was like a bad person. Like they killed her. I thought that was fucked up.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, bro.
It's like, okay, so she was just like kind of a bad babysitter, but not even really. She just was inattentive. And these are like kind of grown kids. They should be fine, right? Like,
right.
What, but then
they're like at like the most luxurious resort of all fucking time,
right? And so she gets scooped
Surely
up
they'll
by
be safe.
She gets scooped up by the flying one and like chucked around between a couple, and then she's like in the water, and then the fucking giant one eats her, and it's like, why did you like torture this poor woman? Like this seems mean for no reason. Like I get
it's like very young.
When you do like this isn't Final Destination, you know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah,
what are we?
Yeah.
And like normally when movies like that do that, it's because they were a bad person and it's like supposed to be cathartic. I just felt like bad for her. I was like, and not even because like I was like simping or anything. It was just like I feel. What did this woman do to deserve this? You know,
the
like,
crime did not match the punishment.
And then you're like, well, the dinosaurs wouldn't care. It's like these aren't real. Someone wrote this. Like so, you know, like someone.
Yeah.
That's how it would happen in real life. Really? That's how it would happen in real life? No.
It's like here's a coughing baby. What's his punishment? Nuclear bomb.
Exactly.
You know?
It seems so mean,
fuck.
and so I didn't see any of the movies after that. I was like, that's mean. I don't care. But.
I enjoy those movies, but
yeah, I'm sure they're fine.
I don't enjoy these fucking games, bro. Like,
also,
they're fucking awful.
She ran away from the T-Rex with her high heels on. That's so unrealistic.
Yeah, dude. Shut the fuck up. It's Bryce Dallas Howard. That's the love of my fucking life,
yeah,
dude.
no kidding.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Mina the Hollower. Coming out on October 31st, Halloween. It is the next game from Yacht Club Games, the developers behind Shovel Knight and the million Shovel Knight spinoffs and sequels and everything. And where Shovel Knight seemed like a love letter to Mega Man, Castlevania, those kind of games, this seems more like a love letter to like Link to the Past, the 2D Legend of Zelda kind of stuff. And it's been in development for quite a while, and it looks really good. I just wanted to point it out. I don't know if there's much else I can say other than Mina the Hollower coming out on Halloween, you know? It's pretty fun. Good job, Yacht Club Games.
Oh, fuck, I didn't even notice.
Deadpool VR, I just wanted to mention because...
Again, VR game?
A VR game, whatever. I'm sure a Deadpool VR game could be fun for a VR game. That's not my problem. My problem is we're watching this trailer, and it's like, why is this person, whoever this is, doing a Ryan Reynolds impression? Like, I get that he's the most iconic version of Deadpool at this point, the most popular, but like before that, Nolan North or whoever it was not doing a Ryan Reynolds impression. They were just kind of a cocky dude. And then they reveal it's Neil Patrick Harris. And I'm like, why was he doing a Ryan? If it's Neil Patrick Harris, why is he doing a Ryan Reynolds impression? Like, I don't. You stunt cast Neil Patrick Harris, who's not really like
he's not going to be cheap.
Right. You stunt cast him, and he's not really a voice actor either. I don't know if he's done a lot. I'm not aware of it if he has. But then he just does his best Ryan Reynolds impression. I'm very confused, like, as to why that is the way it is. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was crazy.
That was definitely weird.
And then the last one I have from the showcase that I brought up just because I thought it was funny, they're making a new Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up, which the first one was great, except it didn't have couch co-op, and it really pissed me and Jason off. Or no, it didn't have online co-op. It was one or the other. I don't remember. We were going to play it on stream, and then it didn't have the co-op. We needed it to play. I think it was couch co-op.
It would have been couch co-op because I don't think I ever bought it.
But what was really funny about it is that we put out a wager on our Twitch. We gambled a little bit. Which one of us would enjoy this show more? Because everybody else had presumably already seen it besides the three of us.
Yeah.
And I thought there was no shot Tara would win because, like, Tara's not as big of a gamer as you and I are. You know, there's certain things she likes, but, like, and people who bet money on her won because she was really hyped for the Scott Pilgrim game, and that's literally it.
We were not hyped for pretty much anything else.
Right. And finally, there's a game on here you want to talk about, and then we'll talk about Resident Evil for a minute after that, even though I didn't highlight it.
So
Splitgate 2.
Splitgate 2, you know, for people who don't know, it's basically like Halo mixed with Portal, right?
Right.
And everybody has their own portals, and you can use it to, you know, drop in above somebody or pop in behind them or do this thing. And, you know, what I want to talk about more is, like, people's reception to the game that I've been seeing online, which is people are basically like, yo, great, another shooter that all these pros are gonna fucking ruin immediately. And it's like kind of interesting, right? Because it's like this game, if this game came out back when, like, you know, like Halo 3 was big or whatever, right? Like this game would have like popped the fuck off, right? Because it's like people were way worse. Like there's this weirdness in gaming in general. And, like, the longer a game has been out, the better it's, like fan base that's continued to play it has gotten, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, like if you're playing like a ranked game, like for example, League of Legends, a gold player 10 years ago is absolute dog shit compared to a gold player now. Right. But that's also just in gaming in general, in any gaming that is like similar, right? Like first person shooters, like people are just so fucking crazy. And it was so weird to me to think about that. It's like this thing that would just be like a crazy party shooter, like a Halo, right? Like was the fucking biggest game of fucking all time with like, you know, it had an esports scene that was like grassroots kind of thing, but most people were just playing it. 99% of people that were playing it were just playing it because it was fun, right? And like it feels like every first person shooter has just become so sweaty that it's like, wow, like I was kind of hyped for this game, and then like people are like, yeah, I can't wait for pros to ruin this fucking game. I'm just gonna get shit on by people that are either doing that or fucking cheaters in first person shooters, which is like so crazy. Like,
right.
It's so wild that like first person shooters are just like, unless like I have some other enjoyment out of it. Like with Call of Duty, I really like doing like the skin grind, and I do enjoy like, you know, loading up with the homies and shit, right? Just fucking around. If I don't have that, like, wow, like I really do not have that much of like a drive to play this because some fucking gremlin is either cheating or like doing some fucking clip farming crazy ass shit. They're off the Adderall. Like, holy fuck, bro. Like I can't just load this up with the homies who don't really play first person shooters, or else they're going to get shit on, bro. Like,
another part of this that I've seen on the internet that I think people are being a little oversensitive on is the dude seemed like a dick, and like he's very cocky, and he was wearing like the fake MAGA hat, like make FPS great again, right? Which turned a certain sect of people off for sure. But he also then was like getting into arguments with Call of Duty devs on Twitter, and like just being kind of a dick.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, like one of the Call of Duty dev, maybe a former one or current one, I don't remember what the whole case is, but basically said, make FPS great again, and then it's Splitgate, right? And then he replied, I'm sorry, what Call of Duty team do you develop for again? They all run together for me. And like, so they're like,
he's having like an ego battle on fucking Twitter.
He's HMKing like other, you know what I mean? Like that's basically what was happening. And now he's kind of walked it back and was like, the article I saw, I don't remember what website it was on, but the headline was, Splitgate 2 devs still talking about stupid hat. And the quote underneath it was, it's just really hard to like get noticed in the industry right now. So basically what he's saying is like, hey, I was just trying to make a splash. I'm walking all this shit back now. You know what I mean? But it's like, I think he did some damage to the game's. He thought he was Joseph Ferris basically, and you're not. You know, you're not. So that tough beat for that guy.
I feel like it also, like, I don't know. I feel like most people that like play shooters are like pretty edgy in general.
Right.
So like it doesn't really hurt the game. Probably not. Like it definitely hurts its ceiling, but it doesn't hurt its floor. Not really, you know?
Right.
Like,
no, for sure. And, you know, he's trying to do something different to get it out there. I just think.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to be popular on the internet, that was just not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just rub people the wrong way. Speaking of rubbing people the wrong way, something that rubbed me the wrong way that ended this showcase, Jason, is the motherfucking creator of Resident Evil going, hey, I ain't caught. I ain't got shit for y'all. We'll have something in the blink of an eye. And then the big reveal at the end of the show is, oh, hey, here's Resident Evil Requiem, which is Resident Evil 9. Here's a trailer for it, a teaser, and it's coming out February 27th, 2026. I get what they were trying to do. They were being cheeky. If I liked Resident Evil, I might have been more into the surprise. You know what I mean? If I was a Resident Evil guy. But I just think that's false hype. You're like, people are hype about this, but you're trying to create false surprise and hype by saying, we're not going to show this. Just kidding, we did, right? And
it seems so counterintuitive to me, right? Because like if in the best case scenario for me personally, right? It's like, okay, if they were like, yo, Nomura comes out and he's like, there's going to be no Kingdom Hearts 4, but like, hey, we'll have some shit later or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, there's Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm not, because like you just broke all tension. Like, if I think there is a chance that this could be there, and then they tell me there's not, I don't have the whole entire show going, oh shit, maybe this is Kingdom Hearts 4.
Right.
You know? Like, you've just ruined that like hour of like buildup of tension that could have been there. To me, it's just stupid. Like,
yeah, it's just
for
like
you personally, as like a in the know person, to be like, they don't know. Like, it's just fucking stupid, bro.
I agree. I did not like it. So that was the end of Summer's Games Fest. Like I said earlier, he had his two aces. He had his two pieces of bread. But the contents of the sandwich, I did not enjoy.
Yeah, there wasn't so much enough shit meat. That was not for me at all. And like many that just felt like not of the quality that would be needed to be in one of these shows to me.
Well, and I think it's cool that, like, you know, that this show exists. I think this is a good thing that this show exists, even when it's bad. However, I think it did not have to be 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I think some of this stuff didn't need to be here. And
there's like a certain level of bloat that I feel like has reached this, where it's like, okay, you know, maybe there's like certain sponsors that need to be fulfilled, or, you know, paying for the venue, paying for all the people that run the event, and then also like fulfilling like people that bought tickets to be there. Like, they paid a certain amount to be here. I need to either give them a certain level of video games video games, or just like a length of time in order to be like, this is a fair transaction. Well, and so it feels more like the latter thing happened here.
And I get that he's trying to make this an event and cool, but like, I think PlayStation and then now later Xbox, we're going to talk about next, and then Nintendo routinely all prove that you don't need this like studio audience for the oohs and ahs and the, you know, if you still want to be on screen, just do it like you did in COVID, dude, without an audience. Just stream it. You don't have to rent out a theater. You don't have to pay that. You know what I mean? Just do it in a studio. Like and then it could be whatever length you want it to be. It could be whatever length you want it to be. You don't have to worry about pleasing the crowd on hand or paying for the venue or, you know, whatever it is. That's my opinion, but I know he's not going to do that.
The only thing I can also think about it with this is like, when you have, it's kind of like a lost leader kind of thing, where it's like, I'm doing this knowing that I'm not going to make money or not going to have as much success to start, like opening a restaurant or some shit, right? Like,
or selling a console.
Yeah. Especially if you're a Nintendo Switch 2. But like, or an Xbox, any Xbox.
Xbox loses money on every Xbox they sell, but that's besides the point. They make the money on Game Pass and games.
It's just like disappointing in the similar way that it's like, I want to criticize this because I want it to be better, kind of thing.
Right.
And it's hard because I'm criticizing because I want it to be better, but also like, if you can't get good games, then you can't get good games, you know, whether it's just a slow year in general, or, you know, like Xbox or PlayStation making their own shows, you know, like, I don't really know. It's like, I don't like this. It needs to be better for me to really care, but I don't know what you can do, kind of thing, right? And
right. I'm of the mind right
sucks.
now that where if we didn't stream it, because we have a fun time streaming it with all you guys, we wouldn't have watched this. You know what I mean?
No.
But all right, so
and at least Jeff has the Game Awards every year. You know,
that's true. I like the Game Awards a lot more than the Summer Games Fest. Yeah. Moving on to Xbox on Sunday. We're gonna try to speed through this a little bit because we have been talking for a long time, but I liked this show more than Summer's Games Fest, but not as much as PlayStation, because when I got down to it, like I was really positive on it once we ended it, and then I thought about it and we went through all the games they listed. I went, I don't know that I'm playing very many of these games actually.
Yeah.
But
also,
I thought
I'd give Summer Games Fest like a 3 or a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Where I'd give this probably like a 6.
Yeah.
And I'd give PlayStation like an 8.
Yeah.
Obviously Outer Worlds 2 is the big one coming out October 29th, and they had a direct afterwards which we didn't watch, but the big announcement to me, the thing that makes me mostly positive on this is the Rogue Xbox Ally and Ally X. Basically the Xbox handheld is real.
Yeah.
It seems pretty cool. It can play every Xbox PC storefront, including Battle.net and Steam, which is huge. So it's not just a competitor for the Nintendo Switch. It's a competitor for the Steam Deck. Mm-hmm. And I think if they have their way with it, if Phil Spencer has his way with it, you would have the PlayStation Store and the Nintendo Store on there too, right? I don't think he's ever going to get to that point, but I think that's what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to, if they can't, they can't beat those two necessarily in like IP, right? They could try, they can buy Activision and everything, but they can't beat them in IP at this point. So they're like, hey, we just want to beat you guys in, like, this is the place to play your games, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is a good step in the right direction. They look slick. They look cool. We don't know a price, so it really depends on what the price is, right? If this is priced similar to the Switch, I think that's a huge win for them.
Oh, yeah.
If this is priced more like the Steam Deck, I think
like
that's okay.
The level 1 version.
Right.
Being like the Switch.
I think that's okay if it's priced as the Steam Deck. If it's more, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's with anything, right?
For sure.
But I thought it was really cool. I liked the Silksong tie-in. So all the fucking degenerates on the Silksong Reddit can stop, like, crashing the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it's smart of them to, like, have a launch game. Now, you could go play that on PlayStation. You can go play it on Steam, you know what I mean? But it's launching the same time, you know what I mean? And I think that's smart to tie it to a game that's highly anticipated like that. Because, I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to play Silksong because I'm not a Hollow Knight fan, but I will always think of this Xbox handheld now when I think of Silksong.
For sure.
And so if it's anything like, if it has the cultural resonance that the first Hollow Knight did, that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah. No.
So I really liked that announcement. We'll see what it's priced. I don't know if I'll get one because I'm planning on getting a Switch 2 because they just have games that you can't play anywhere else. And I already have a Portal. And I think this is cooler than a Portal. But, like, am I really going to have 3 fucking handhelds? You know what I mean? Like, probably not.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then the first game I highlighted was Super Meat Boy 3D. Very unexpected. It looks really cool. I'm way more into.
Really good.
I'm way more into this than I'm into regular Super Meat Boy.
Like, I can't wait to watch someone play this because I'm shit at these games and I rage really fucking hard. So I'm gonna pass for the sake of my, like, blood pressure.
Right.
But, like, I'm so glad that they're doing it. I hope it does really well.
It just seems like a very hard Astrobot to me, the way it looks. You know what I mean? And I'm so down for that. So I'm pretty excited. I love the fake out with the pipe coming out of the ground Because like after they announced that handheld, it was like, oh fuck, anything can happen. And then he comes down from the sky, and I was like, oh shit, they fucking got my ass.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, is that a pipe?
So smart. So
we were both
smart.
like, Mario?
Cheeky.
Yeah. And those games are funny, and you know.
On stream earlier, before like we like had pulled up the chat, and I like cooked somebody in the chat. I was like, who the fuck said Mario? Ban that guy.
And then you're like, don't ban him.
I was like, oh shit, I need to unban him.
You wanted to talk about Elder Scrolls Online for some reason.
Okay, so like I just want to touch on this shortly. So like Elder Scrolls Online Seasons of the Worm Cult. There was nothing about no worms, no cults. It was like a cheeky little like, oh, here's you and your pets, like it's a feel good thing.
There weren't even no
like,
seasons.
Right, like yeah, not even I didn't even see the seasons change, you know. Like there was fucking nothing. It was the weirdest fucking trailer for Elder Scrolls Online, because I feel like, and maybe they were like, you know, the people that we have, right? Like they're not gonna fucking stop playing the game because of this trailer being fucking really weird, right?
Right.
Let's try and get the casuals with this shit and be like, you know, you can have a little lion,
you can have a dog.
You know? Yeah, you have a little cat with you. It's like, bro, what was this? It was so weird, dude. And like, I say this as like I enjoyed playing Elder Scrolls Online for a bit. My plight with it, as with every MMO I ever play, is my homies end up fucking quitting the game, you know? Like,
right.
So, I hope the best for anything Bethesda, bro. You know, like, yeah. But I just thought it was so weird that they were like, anyway, this trailer that you've watched this entire time, yeah, it's about Season of the Worm Cult. Like, it was so weird.
Yeah. Speaking of Bethesda, I do not wish Bethesda good on this one, because they spent the whole half-hour countdown leading up to the show was just Quiet Swamp, Fallout 76 fishing to chill/study to, and then they had a fucking like, they do the funny like, hey there kiddos, I'm a Fallout guy and I'm gonna tell you about fishing, haha, you know, and it just sucks. They just sucks.
It went on for way too long.
And Fallout 76 just sucks, and like, I was hoping they were gonna announce like Fallout 3 remake like they did Oblivion, but we're probably a year away from them announcing that.
Yeah.
But I just was like, oh man, like they just need to let this game die. Like,
yeah, I genuinely don't understand how, like, unless they just have a super, super small team on this shit. Like, we got 2 guys working on Fallout 76.
Right.
And so the fucking 1,000 people we've conned and to keep playing this shit are paying those 2 people's salaries, and that's fucking it.
Right.
You know, like,
they're fucking chained up in Bethesda headquarters, and Todd's like, all right, now make a fishing mini game. And they're like, release me.
Yeah. They're like, okay, I will, but it's going to be a really dog shit fishing mini game.
Right. Yeah, it looked awful. It looked terrible, dude.
Yeah. Well,
it looked terrible.
The fishing mini game has apparently been in the game too, like for a little bit at least.
Well, it's just like Elder Scrolls then.
Yeah.
At least it's called Gone Fishing.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
don't know, bro.
Fallout 76, the irradiated pack or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like a fucking name that has nothing to do with fishing.
Well, and it's just like, I'm sitting there like, you're taking the fucking piss here, bro. Like, I never use that phrase, but you're taking the piss, bro.
Oh, Jesus. He's gone British.
They're showing all the shit you can decorate and do with all this shit. Motherfucker, no. That shit is $5.99. That shit's fucking, or no, sorry. That's 599 atoms. That shit's 8,000 atoms. Like, you know, like, it's so fucking horseshit, bro. Like, I don't understand how these people don't have enough self-respect for their fucking money and time, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Tony Hawk himself showed up.
A guy who looks like Tony Hawk.
Tony's looking old. He's
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing any 1080s or what did he do? Was it 9?
I don't know.
920? I don't remember what he did that everybody was like, he's the only one to ever do it.
I think it's 1080.
1080, but I don't know, man. I think he's looking a little rough. Shout outs to Tony Hawk.
He was
Mikey,
skating and looking clean though. In
the biggest I pogged in this was Mikey from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being in the game as a skater.
True.
I truly pogged. And Jip brought this up. I think the Sonic Kart Racer that was in the Sega one, and they were like, Ichiban's in it, and you know, like Joker's in it.
Yeah.
And we're in this weird like part in like video game media where like every game like that is a crossover in some way. Like they're adding like for no reason, Michelangelo is just in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, right? And I love it. I'm here for it. It's the dream, like when you got Soul Calibur for the GameCube and Link was in it, and you're like, I wish they did this all the time, and now they do. Now they just do this shit all the time, and I'm here for it. We saw a small clip of Persona 4 Revival, which, okay, maybe you can help me on this, or maybe you can't. Wasn't there already a Persona 4 remaster?
I understand that was just a port.
So it was Persona 4 Golden was ported, right?
Yeah. Persona 4 Golden, as far as I understand, was a port, and the graphics on it.
And
were
Golden
really...
was like the PSP version of 4 or something originally.
I think so.
So they ported that, but now they're remastering it? Is that Revival? Is that a remake, remaster?
It depends, I guess. Like, at what point does it become a remake? You know, like, because, like, as far as I understand, like, you didn't have, like, these big-ass areas to be walking around in Persona 4.
Okay.
Like you do in Persona 5. And like they showed a bunch of like walking through areas, like it's like a big like a big idea or like a big deal or whatever, right? Like I don't know. So to me, I would assume it's just a remaster. But like how basically what people wanted like the FF7 remake to be, right? Where it's like, here is just this in better detail and graphics, but it's the exact same fucking thing.
Right. People are kind of mad about this. They say it looks like shit.
I think people just don't like Persona 4, period. I don't know. People just want to, as far as I understand, I just always hear people dunk on Persona 4 specifically. I don't know why. Like,
what I've seen
all
is
I know is that it has heartache, and that song is a fucking banger.
What I've seen is people who seem like they are fans of Persona 4 being upset about this small trailer. Which
that
I think
it's like not enough. I guess.
Like it doesn't look
because
good.
It's a remaster.
I don't know. I'm unclear, but
it might be in the same vein as like like when they did the Gen 4 remakes. Right. And they like chibi-fied it or whatever, and like it just looked like it was fucking hella outsourced and not done well. Maybe that is the angle.
Persona fans just be staying mad though, I think.
Yeah. That's true.
They did show Sea of Thieves in this one, which we were like, oh, this is Sea of Thieves.
Actual Sea of Thieves, yeah.
They showed Invincible Versus. And I've wanted to watch Invincible for a while, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't think this game looks very good.
Yeah.
Like, it looked technically fine, but the frame rate was real tough. And it's a 3v3 fighter, like Marvel vs. Capcom. But, I mean, I guess I don't know enough about Invincible. Are there that many characters?
I think like not in the same like at the same level as like Marvel versus Capcom, where like a lot of these are like main character level type of characters, right?
Right.
This is like, yo, if you could play as like fucking Bebop or Rocksteady characters, you know?
Okay.
Like if it was a TMNT one, you know, like they're not main characters, They're like a side villain. You can play as that motherfucker, right? Or like in fucking Mario Party, you can be the motherfucking Goomba, you know? Like,
Monty Mole.
Yeah, you can be
Monty
Monty Mole.
He's like,
so
his
like,
eyes get all wide when something happens. So he's like, right? Okay, all right. I
think it's like that type of level, right?
I feel like the people developing this game watched the PlayStation conference and went, "Oh fuck," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arc
true.
Systems making a Marvel game, fuck. You know what I mean? Like they had to have.
Yeah, they're
like
cooked.
they're like
That shit's getting delayed.
Hey
This
Phil,
shit's getting delayed. And
hey Phil, can we pull the trailer? Can we pull the trailer, Phil? No, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like it just. And
It's getting delayed, and they're milking it for another Xbox review, like a showcase.
Right.
Like they're gonna be like, "Yo, here it is."
Yeah.
Again.
I guess we'll see on that one. And then we got Square Enix jump scared again.
Yep.
And it was very strange. The wait is almost over was the subtitle they put on the screen. And then it was for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is what was originally the PlayStation 5 version that included the Yuffie DLC. So they're not even talking about Rebirth coming out on Xbox.
Right. Just
They're talking about Remake.
And then Intergrade. Yeah.
With Intergrade. So next year at the Xbox conference, is it going to be like, the wait is almost over, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
It might be 2 years. It might be 2 years.
Right. I know. It's crazy.
They probably have a certain amount of like exclusivity contract.
Yeah, that's true. It's
probably
right.
the same length.
And then they said, also, Final Fantasy 16 available today on Xbox, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think the days of Square Enix only putting a game out on PlayStation are done.
Numbered.
Because I think they realized we need to make more money than this. The money that Sony gives us for exclusivity is not good enough.
Yeah.
We need to sell more copies. So I think you're going to see this pretty frequently now. And again, people mad about these announcements. Why are you mad? Because it wasn't for you. Exactly. Shut up.
Well, and like if there were a ton of these in the showcase, I would understand, right?
Right.
Or it's like a ton of things that are like not a new game, or a ton of things like I could get that being fatigued with that, but that wasn't really the case with this show, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was fine. They got to tell you at some point.
Yeah.
And then the one more thing.
Yeah. So, okay, here I need to give some context. Because last year at the showcase, this was the lead up into Black Ops 6, right? And it had been like 4 years since Cold War. And so it was like this big hype thing last year. And even before the show, they were like, yo, we're going to have Black Ops 6 at the show. And there's going to be a segment like they did with Outer Worlds this year where we dive deeper into Black Ops 6.
Right, I remember that.
And then that's where they showed like Omni movement and all this stuff, and it was fucking cool. Well, they are doing Black Ops 6 into Black Ops 7 because apparently Treyarch is just backpacking Activision because the other two companies are fucking shit. But like, we're having back-to-back, and they did not have any type of extra shit ready. This shit was there wasn't actual gameplay at all in this reveal, you know, like it's just a cinematic trailer.
It seemed like they tried to make you think it was not Call of Duty for the longest in the trailer too, right? Like it was very not Call of Duty, and I'm sure some like Call of Duty fans in the comments right now going, actually, Mike, it would show this butterfly, which it was, and this, but you know, I don't care.
Yeah.
To me, it did not.
I just figured
it
was because of the droid, because the droid looked a lot like some of the ones that were in like the story for like Black Ops 4 or whatever, Black Ops 5, like or like Cold War or whatever. Like that looked like the aesthetic, and then once they showed like all the TVs, and I was like, oh yeah, the numbers, Mason. What do they mean? You know, like
right. But it almost seemed like they were trying to make you think it wasn't Call of Duty. And like,
But like this had already been confirmed as a game, as the game coming out this year for Call of Duty for over a year. So like, why is it and one more thing? You know, like, what are you doing, bro?
yeah,
Like, I guess like looking at this, like, what would you have put instead?
that's what I was just thinking. You could, I mean, they spent a long time. We didn't talk about this, but they spent a long time on that Clockwork Revolution game, which looks like BioShock esque. You know what I mean? And
BioShock
that game,
mixed with Deathloop.
yeah, and that game looks cool. I suppose you could have maybe put that there. But other than
that trailer was so long too,
right? Other than that, there isn't really like a game that you go, oh yeah, this. Because it couldn't be out of
War Reloaded, maybe. I don't know. Wasn't that already announced?
Well, they announced a prequel to Gears of War that they haven't talked about since. Reloaded is just the remaster of the first one.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what. There's nothing on this show.
Ninja Gaiden 4, I guess. Because you couldn't do Outer Worlds 2, because that was already confirmed, and they had the thing afterward.
And that comes out very soon, in the next couple months. You could have. I mean, part of the reason they talked about the Ally early is so they could do the like play it anywhere, right?
Right.
But you could have saved that for last, right?
Right, like you could have just got rid of this fucking slideshow play it anywhere bullshit that they had added to like every fucking game that like elongated it by like probably 4 minutes by the
and then
the
just
show.
have Phil say, by the way, all the games we showed today will be playable on the Ally, right? Because then and so they could have done that. And
then you would have had the Silk Song thing as part of it too, right? Like,
but saying the one more thing, and then it's Call of Duty. It's like, brother, death, taxes, and Call of Duty every year. Like this isn't like a fucking like revelation. Like
it literally is the exact same at this point as being like the new Fortnite season. Like
right.
Shit.
It's like, hey, guess what, guys? Madden 26 is coming out this year. This is our one more thing. Like, it just doesn't make any sense as the one more thing. Except for in the fact that, hey, there are a lot of people that will be excited for it, but you're not telling them anything they don't already know.
Right.
You know, like, and there are games that weren't at this conference that apparently, you know, aren't ready to be seen again yet that they could have done, like Fable, right?
Right. Like, you can throw some shit together for Fable? Come on, bruh. Is this game coming out?
I'm a little worried that Xbox is just cursed.
They had the cursed monkey paw, bruh.
They do. They said, we're going to buy Activision. And then the monkey paw was like, skrrr. And they're like, oh, we're going to buy Bethesda. And the monkey paw was like, Starfield's going to be bad. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Like,
yeah.
Like, so it's like, I don't know, man. I'm worried for Fable.
You like the cursed monkey paw was actually like Xbox Live and like the beginning of online gaming, you know? Like, yeah. And then Elder Scrolls 6,
it's not gonna come out.
And then it fucking flipped your ass off. Right. All of your fucking studios will now be shite.
Right. It's so strange. It's almost like they're cursed, and they do these conferences, and we're always really positive on them. Because they're good at, they know how to make a good like show like this. Like they know like how to raise hype for things. The Call of Duty thing was a rare misstep for them, putting that last. But like they typically, you watch these shows and they do the world premiere and you know what I mean. Like
and you're hype in the moment,
right? But then the games come out and you go, man, fuck, what was the vampire game? What was it called? I can't even remember it now.
I'm literally looking at the list, and I'm like, the blood of Dawn Walker.
No. I'm sorry. The vampire game that they released
Redfall.
already. Redfall. Thank you. Like I remember watching that trailer in one of these shows and going, "Yo, that game looks fucking tight." Right?
Yeah.
Remember? And then it came
like
out.
we had Back 4 Blood, and that shit was fucking ass, and so we were like itching for some good shit, you know, like maybe Redfall is the Back 4 Blood we were.
Well, and the trailer was like funny, and it was like the gameplay looked good, and then it was just like a dog shit game that was rushed out,
buggy piece of shit,
right?
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't buggy, like the gameplay loop was fucking awful, and like I don't know, man. It's almost like they know how to show you something, but then they don't know how to execute on it. You know,
it's the fucking thing Steve Jobs said, dude. Where if you keep promoting motherfuckers in the marketing team, they're good at marketing, but they're not good at fucking knowing what's good in the fucking industry. You know,
right?
Like,
True.
It's fucking Steve Jobs, dude.
Yeah, man. It's ironic that Jobs is in his name, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's ironic.
And Steve
but
is in his name.
Yeah, it's very ironic.
I am Steve. You know, it was like a fucking Minecraft movie reference. And he didn't even know it.
Right.
His parents made the reference.
So yeah, I would rank these PlayStation 1, Xbox 2, Summers Games Fest 6.
Yeah.
Because it was just bad. I'm sure Day of the Devs and like the indie shows were better than Summer Games Fest.
The SpikeGhetti Direct was better than Summer Games.
Dude, it was. Oh fuck, I forgot about the SpikeGhetti Direct. What a classic bit by me.
That shit was
a lot of work. I put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, eat your fucking heart out, Jeff Keighley. I might not have had any Muppets, or Hideo Kojima, but I built some hype. Okay,
next time.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna have a Muppet Hideo Kojima. He's gonna be a puppet, and then I'll get a translator for him. But yeah, so that's how I'd rate these.
I'm the voice of the Hideo Kojima Muppet, and I'm the translator.
Yeah, it's not a Muppet; it's a ventriloquist dummy. And you have to work, and then you make a joke where you're like, "I'm all crossed up. I don't know how to work the body."
The Muppet was controlling me the whole time.
Exactly. Yeah, we pan around the back of you, and the Muppet's hand is up your ass. I think we really need Nintendo to come out of here, and it probably won't be the fall would be my guess, and tell us what else is coming out this year. Because like honestly, I think the rest of the year's kind of cooked.
Yeah.
You know, like we like tactics.
And like I'm gonna buy Black Ops 7 and I'm gonna enjoy Black Ops 7.
Right. For sure. But like, then Ghost of Yotei, we didn't talk about Ghost of Yotei because they didn't really show us a ton, but like it was there. Death Stranding 2 comes out in a few days. Donkey Kong
4.
Borderlands 4. But like, what's the big tentpole game that's coming out that's not named Call of Duty? You know?
Well, like there was no like announcement from Supermassive on like a full release date for Hades 2 either.
Right. Nintendo did a fucking Nintendo thing, I think today, where, you know, they have that new Nintendo app that they had Miyamoto, like, you know, fucking throw in front of us.
The Nintendo News
and they
app,
announced a new Splatoon game in the app.
That's so weird, dude.
Isn't it? It's
Why
like, what
did
are
they do this?
Well, here's the thing, man.
You're not like the days of Nintendo Power are fucking over, bro. What are we doing?
Here's the thing, though. They're so quirky, and we always question them, and then they end up being right. Like when they first did this direct thing, like they were the first to do it. Now everybody does it. E3 they killed E3. They put a fucking harpoon in E3's chest because they didn't want to play ball with him. And they said, we'll do this ourselves. And they were right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like...
Well, that's facts.
It's like... It's hard for me to go, what the fuck are they doing? You know? Because it's like, they normally are right.
So, like, okay, but, like, to me, it's like they're cutting out the middleman in the whole, like, doing their own direct. That makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
They're cutting themselves out as their own fucking middleman by doing it like this.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I get it.
You could have had this at the Nintendo Direct, bro.
I get it. No,
this is fucking stupid.
There's something.
Like, just throw up a live stream, bro.
There's something they're seeing that we aren't, man.
Like, if it's like, oh, you know, like, gaming journalists, we're cutting them out. No, they're just fucking gonna make an AI-generated article about what you put out anyway. Like, there's no middleman they're cutting out except for just killing their own hype. Like, I don't know.
I suppose Pokemon's coming out this year too, right? That's usually a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think
at least like the Switch 2 makes me believe that it might run okay.
Right.
I saw people like loading up the previous one. What was the fucking previous one?
Scarlet Violet.
Yeah, Scarlet Violet, and they're like running up to like there was this town that had like a fucking windmill, and the windmill was literally in like frame by frame of it spinning. And then now it actually is a fluid motion.
Yeah, I saw that they fixed the windmill, like having that.
So
we didn't really talk about the Switch 2 at all because neither of us have one.
All fucking time.
True. Neither of us have one.
Like 5 of Disney.
And we're probably not gonna get one anytime soon because we're going to Kingdom Hearts Reconnect in July, and it is it's breaking my bank. I can tell you that. So I will eventually get a Switch 2 because I want to play Donkey Kong, and then we'll have some more thoughts on it, I guess. But I think this kind of ties into your Japanese word of the day, Jason.
So today, the Japanese word of the day, is for when, you know, your Xbox and, you know, you got the cursed monkey paw. And, you know, you had some pretty good first couple of wishes, and now you're down to the cursed part of the cursed monkey paw, which is what today's word is tsunda.
Tsunda.
Which means you're screwed. Tsunda.
Tsunda. Screwed.
You're fucking screwed. Maji tsunda. Really fucking screwed.
Okay. So yeah, or you're Jeff Keighley and Sony has their own conference and Xbox has their own conference and Nintendo won't play ball.
Yeah, true.
So you have to show a bunch of shit games, so you're Tsunda.
You're Tsunda, bruh.
You're Jeff Keighley and you called Hideo Kojima and he's busy and can't show up at Summer's Games Fest.
Tsunda, bruh.
Tsunda.
You can't book a fucking Muppet for Summer's Games Fest, bro. You're Tsunda, bruh. You can't even get fucking Gonzo out here, bruh.
You can't get Kojima to show up to the Game Awards because last time the Muppets made fun of him. Tsunda.
True.
Does Kojima know that? Oh, that shit was fucking funny, dude. I don't care who you are.
Bro,
that
and then like people
funny.
getting so mad about that on Twitter was so weird, bro. It's like he doesn't know what he's being made. They made him so uncomfortable. Like, no, motherfuckers, he's fluent in English.
Yeah.
He just doesn't speak in English for either one or two because he's like, I don't want to mess up, even though
he's a coward.
He's probably not gonna mess up. It's
he's
just aura farming, bro. You're just
he's a coward.
Farming.
That's what he is.
He's dragging it.
I don't remember who it was, but there was another developer, Japanese developer, who just spoke in his broken English, dude, and I was like, full send, brother. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Dude.
Don't be a coward like Kojima. Get a translator. You know what Jeff's saying.
On, bro.
I see your tweets. You type them in English, you motherfucker. I know.
Right.
I know you can speak English.
Well, like clearly, like they're boys. They be hanging out and shit, bro.
Right. Do you think the translator hangs with him though? Maybe we're wrong.
Maybe he's just there for vibes, you know.
No, maybe he has to translate their conversation, you know.
But like you're telling me him and what they make like didn't it like a couple years ago Hideo Kojima came out and was like, "Yo, I'm making this like show or movie or whatever," or like it.
No, it wasn't a movie. I know what you're talking about, but it's another game. It's a game he's making for Xbox exclusively.
Right. Yeah. No, that's what it was.
And it was the one where they had the actress and like she was making the weird faces kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like AI because the faces she was making were so fucking weird.
Yeah, early ass Chat GPT.
And she was just like in a black room and it was just like shoulders up. It was kind of creepy, honestly. It was weird. Weird shit. We had no idea what the game is. It was just like, here's an actress in a room making facial expressions that are uncanny, and it's an Xbox exclusive.
They were really channeling that fucking like RDJ inside the Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
scenes,
dude.
Bro.
For sure. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this probably long-ass episode of ARP. Like I said, if you want to see our instant reactions to any of this stuff, that video is going to be going up on our other channel. Links in the description. But I think we kind of covered everything we pogged for. I'll be fully honest. There are some games I'm looking at the list and I go, I don't fucking remember what that was. So it's very possible that I pogged for something and don't remember what it was, and so I didn't want to talk about it.
The only other thing I can think of is just like the Game Freaky game is kind of weird, right?
Yeah,
it's like
the Game Freak game. For some reason,
the fact
I
that
keep
they're making a game.
that's not Nintendo.
Game.
Yeah, I keep seeing there are no ghosts at the Grand. Was that the one that was like the musical? It was like Luigi's Mansion, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're like fixing everything up, but also you're trying to uncover some hidden shit.
And then people kept like breaking into song. Okay, that game looked all right. That game was at least interesting. Sure. You know. I'm trying
to think of like what other game that like reminds me of. It's definitely like a YouTuber bait game.
Well,
though.
it looked.
Know what I mean,
the art style looked like Redfall. That's why I was like, I was kind of taken aback by it because the art style looked like Redfall, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't remember what development team is working on that.
Also, the Blood of Dawnwalker looks like a cool vampire game, and I love vampires.
Right. You know, they look like a classic, just RPG in general, like a God of War-esque kind of game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We didn't talk about the RGG game. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't really show too much, you know? The Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
Development team.
But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, there might be some stuff that we pogged for in the video that we didn't hear, but if that's the case, just yell at us in the comments below. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week because it's probably going to be some slow news after this, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think Jason's finally going to play my game of the year, Expedition 33, coming up here soon.
True.
And you're going to stream it, right?
Yep.
There you go. So you'll be able to get
Claire Obscure soon.
His reactions, and then we just sit here and hope he likes it as much as I do.
And then we can fully glaze it.
Yeah, then we can glaze it together on the pod. We can have
a full service,
a spoiler cast.
Yeah,
where I just ball wash it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to play devil's advocate in that one, so that it's not just pure glazy.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to get into it right now. There are things I don't like about the game. Actually, I'm going to when you stream it, there's this thing I'm going to tell you that you have to do because there is early on in the game, you're in Lumiere, which is the place where the game starts. and then you don't go back there till way, way later in the game, but there's no one there when you go back for reasons I won't explain.
Mm-hmm.
When you're first there, you can earn these tokens by doing different tasks. And you can trade one in for like a different hairstyle for Gustav or a Picto you can equip, right? And then there's a third one that says old key. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't trade for the old key because I was like, whatever.
The fuck is that? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a trophy to unlock. Basically, when you're going around, you can find all these journals for all the different expeditions that came before you.
Yeah.
And there's a trophy to unlock all of them. And there is one that is hidden behind the old key. Okay. And you don't have another opportunity to get the old key. And I didn't get it. Okay. And I just found this out. I didn't know this. Okay. Because fucking SP and OJ let me down for sure. Okay.
Bastards.
So here's the really CBT thing about it. You could do New Game Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do not keep the journals in New Game Plus. So
What?
I have to play the
entire
full game
basically?
again. One
that
of the
one
journals is hidden behind the hardest super boss. So
What?
Oh yeah, dude, I have
So you
to
have to full clear the game again.
to get the
basically.
platinum, I have to full clear the game again.
That's
All because I
insane.
made a decision not to grab this key in the first hour of the game.
Nah, that's wild.
That's when I found that out the other night, that's the most angry I've been with this game by far.
Understandable.
If you're playing on Steam, they have a mod to unlock the door that you use on the old key because so many people did this.
Right.
But I'm on
That's
PlayStation.
wild.
So, look forward to
like
me
such
replaying Expedition 33 fully at some point.
That's definitely one of those like first time dev fumbles, you know, where it's like
Yep.
you just like kill a bunch of goodwill from your game because you fucked up a silly achievement, but people are so neurotic about it.
They did actually,
I
though.
need it.
They just did an update where there wasn't just bug fixes. What they added was basically pro codes. So like you can go to like one of the flags and you can decide, hey, I want my damage limit to be 9999, right? Or 99,000, right? Or any enemies I fight, I want to pump their HP up by 500%.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so there's some real wild shit in there now that they just added out of nowhere. No one knew they were going to add it. So hopefully they cut me a break and give me the fucking old key and a fucking
come on
update.
now, bro.
Please, Sandfall Games, help me. Help me.
come
I
on,
need
bruh.
you. I need you.
Like, okay, if you beat the fucking hardest fucking super boss, you also get the old key now. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. For
are
sure.
you shitting me?
I mean, I did 100 million damage to him in one attack, but that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's
Anyway.
light work.
Anyway, I don't know where we were going with this, but the point is, come check us out on other shit. We're streaming twitch.tv/Super Spaghetti Bros. Check out both our YouTube channels. One you're already watching, probably the Super Spaghetti Bros Podcast Network, and then the other one that's just Super Spaghetti Bros, where we sometimes post things. I have a lot of things in the backlog that I just haven't been able to get to. That there's one video I'm hoping to get out for Pride Month here. If you know, you know. I was supposed to release this video in March, and it's just not there yet. But I'm hoping it will be by the end of Pride Month because it's very Pride Month related. So I hope you guys like it. And if it doesn't come out, then I'll wait for another year, I guess, because I streamed this video originally in Pride Month.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
Real ones know.
That's gonna do it for this episode of ARP. Thank you for listening and watching. Are we saluting?
I just felt natural.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you for watching ARP.
Fuck you. Just
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck you. Yeah.
Fuck you. Yeah.